Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, we can hear you.
Hey,
How are
Ranveer.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
All good, sir. All good.
I haven't seen you for very long. Where were you?
No, I'm joining your all classes, sir.
Okay, I did not see you yesterday.
Face you're not seeing because some issues going on with my personal laptop webcam, and then we cannot
Okay,
use city office laptop.
I see.
Lot of constraint in on those system.
Oh, oh. Ah, for some reason, the office laptops are very underutilized for this reason.
Even sometime we have to carry both the laptop. Saturday Sunday we have
Yeah,
a class.
exactly, exactly, exactly. So my this the one of the company I'm consulting, they have given their own laptop because they have a data privacy issues. Okay,
Uh,
they don't want us to use the email ID on any of the other computers. So it's a medical data, so you know that healthcare
yeah, yeah. Health
restrictions.
healthcare and finance both are very restricted.
Yeah. Specifically, it's a patient's data, patients of all
Yeah,
America and everybody's data. So,
right.
so I mean, that's a good lesson for me as well. That when, let's say, you were working as a data scientist or somebody who is leading the AI scientist work in such companies, they have like so many restrictions. They want the data not to be downloaded, not to be attached. You have to undergo like four. I have gone through like six trainings, separate trainings on PHI, this, that, like, and
Hmm.
and a bit cybersecurity, this, that. Only then they allow me to, access any data.
Oh,
So then there are these restrictions that consenting, non-consenting, meaning that if you are in America or North America, you are allowed to access the data. But if you are outside North America or America, you are not allowed to access that data. So some data has like that. Some data human can see, but the machines cannot. You cannot process or train models on that data. So hospitals themselves say that, okay, our data is not allowed for being used for any NLP work. There are those kind of restrictions.
so
Um,
Sandeep said, what is the latest use case in healthcare where AI is being implemented? Or what all purpose?
one of the
Any?
one
Yeah,
of the big things is that there is this medical prescription thing. Okay,
right.
so and this is I'll come back to the finance also. So one of the big thing that is happening as of today is that all the digitization of the documents that was monopolized earlier by OCRs, optical character thing, or optical character recognition things, as well as there were these call centers and KPO industry. So
Hmm.
doctors, like I have a team of doctors who basically label the data. So their role is to label the data, and I sit with them, look at their work, observe that how they are labeling the data, and how can my machine extract the same insights from the patient records. Okay, so basically answering questions like was this drug effective can be done looking at all the patient's data. How many of the people quit alcohol
Hmm.
after going through this particular um, particular treatment? Let's say we want to figure that out. So lots of medical companies, what they do is they float sort of, they purchase this information, de-identified information, that how many people went through this treatment, what happened, what were the outcomes, and so on. So earlier, what people used to do is go through patients' data manually, identify and answer this survey based on patients' data. Now, like AI is going through that. Okay. So, and the pharma companies, the biopharma companies essentially are ready to pay money for that. And similarly, this is a big industry. This is one of the use cases that I have right now. So they and this is just one starting point, but there are many other situations where the AI is very effective now to convert, let's say, answer questions on a document, answer questions on a page. So you can just say that, tell the chat GPT that this is my documentation record. Can you answer these 3 questions based on this document? Okay, so that is one. And then there are these very intelligent systems like YOLO and the computer vision things. What it does is you train it a little bit and say, this is my document. In this corner, you'll find date. Here, you'll find this. You give it like 15 such document and train it. The YOLO. YOLO is a library which is basically for computer vision, and then it can do the rest. Okay. So by combining these technologies, you can do a lot of digital conversions, and you can do a lot of magic. And essentially, um, essentially, this is one use case. The second use case in finance is like big. Okay. It's like text filing and all the things. So all the call center industry and IT, those labor industry, like I call it labor because people have to sit and do and fill on all the data. They look at the documents. All of that industry would be automated.
Hmm.
Okay, as
True.
of today.
Right.
And what is needed as of today is that the people educated in the AI and machine learning, because this thing cannot be done alone.
Hmm.
With the if ChatGPT was solving, like any large language model was solving the problem, then anyway that can be solved without any engineering. But reality is that you can't solve alone with a problem with large language models. You need understanding of machine learning. Otherwise, you can't think of anything other than using large language model. Okay. So you have to collaboratively combine your knowledge of machine learning along with this. And I think this is where what I'm seeing right now is that there is a like the way people needed lots of people earlier who knew about let's say web development and all of that. Similarly, as of today, there's a need of people who have an understanding of training models, deploying models, and constructing solutions by creating like, okay, this is my data, I'll train this model, this is unsupervised, this is supervised, this is what I'll do here and so on. So somebody like a person who has an understanding of all these things is very much in demand. I am struggling even today getting like teammates who can get it done because here like I have got one of the persons in my team, but I'm not able to get I'm not able to convince my this client to hire more people from India. Okay, they are more looking for people in the US and Canada, and that is another issue. Okay, so there's a need. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
So I think this is a good thing. I mean, you guys at the right time at the right place. That's a thing. It is going. I mean, like uh, as of today, like as they say, right? That the way I see the role of doctors, role of like subject matter experts is that in helping me label the data. Okay, so that's the thing. And yeah, so subject matter expertise is needed for labeling the data. And then the knowledge of models, knowledge of data engineering, knowledge of DevOps, all of that is needed in order to getting things done. Okay.
So when you say labeling of data, for example, in Amazon, right? So about two of the products, right? One of the product was Alexa, where you speak to Alexa and it will convert your speech to text and then respond correctly. There is a huge team, like thousands of people in India, where they actually listen to the phrases and then tag them, right? What was said. Similarly with Amazon Go, right? You must have seen the news, right? They stopped Amazon Go. It was an awesome product, but then they said that there was huge team in India who was manually tagging what action was happening rather than their models doing the same thing. I mean, they created the models to do it, but the error rate was, 70% of time it was going to manual tagging rather than actually getting things done. So tagging is going to be, I'm not sure how exactly.
No, I think okay.
Is...
So you're confusing two things. Okay, Alexa was not really a deep learning based system. Okay, it was a manually created workflows. Okay, recognize the intent, try to parse the sentence, and it was a syntactic rules created by lots of engineers. So these engineers, that one that you're talking about in India, what they were doing is they were essentially sitting down and creating these workflows. Okay, hundreds of people. Okay, so instead of, right, and then the LLMs turned out to be the most successful thing, and all of those workflow-based things are dead. Dead. Let me put it the correct word. The LLMs have killed Alexa because that thing is stupid. The thing is rule-based. If this is this, then do this. If this is this, then do this. You can compare the outcome. So Alexa's, the entire plan was flawed and stupid. Okay. From day zero, I know the people who have been running it. Okay. And I know the people who have been hiring it. The entire thing was a stupid thing. Okay. I'm being very honest. Okay. You can quote me on this. Okay. Yes. And so, and I told him long back that then what is going on? I mean, you can't, it's like going backwards, somebody sitting down and writing that all rule-based things. No, right? So similarly, at that point of time, Google had created something called a Google, what do you call it? Chat, Google Dialogue. Okay, dialogue flow. Okay, where you could create all these conversation workflows. Okay, and that thing is a mess. Okay, I mean it. That thing is a mess. Okay, like when I was leading DevRev, when I talked to the customers who had created that dialogue flow based workflow, that if somebody's intent is this, then do this, then somebody, right? That thing is a mess. So many rules, so many rules. Maintenance of those rules is crazy. So when I showed one of the customers that, hey, here is the chat agent I created based on by crawling your website. Can you compare it against Dialogflow? And he was impressed that what LLMs have done without creating a single rule is way ahead of any rule-based systems like Dialogflow kind of systems. I mean, that's how I made the like two to three sales of DevRev. Okay. And essentially, Alexa was a stupid plan. Okay. Anyway, but at that point of time, they didn't have anything better. They didn't have anything better. And so all these companies like Yellow Messenger, Dialogflow, all of they were just building those workflows. That if the intent is this, do this. So I think as long as labeling the data is concerned, okay, you label the data a little strategically. They were not labeling the data. They were actually writing the rules. Okay. Writing his rules is stupid, but labeling the data would remain for only subject matter expert. I would not want my data to be labeled by somebody who has no knowledge of the domain. Okay. I would want my data to be labeled by them. So yes, data labeling is different.
Yeah. Sandeep, what did you said about experience with your Alexa?
Yeah.
You were saying something, right? Some experience with Alexa, and then you cut that out. What was that? Like, I heard few complaints about Alexa actually. It's being hyped more than its actual use case.
It's a dumb thing. It's a dumb thing.
Yeah.
I never liked it.
I mean, what was your experience overall?
It never solves any problem. Okay. I tried creating workflows in it, and like full team of 5 people is working on creating those workflows. If the customer says this, then do this, ask that. And when I looked at the numbers, right, I saw that 90%, more than 90% of the queries of people were not answered. Single digit success, single digit. Okay. Like around 6 to 7% success was there of the dialog flow based systems. No, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Though those people who are configuring dialog flows, the manager, senior manager, they try to compare it against all the other things, but it doesn't make sense. Okay. All of that thing is dead. It's just killed by LLMs. Simply killed. Okay.
Yeah, the teams which I was talking about when I was in Chennai, Amazon, right? There is a 400-member team in Chennai who used to listen to each or specific phrases, and then they had a tag cloud, and they used to tag the words, what exactly that means, because for different accent, for different users, right? There were a lot of comments or a lot of commands which you say. Alexa used to say that, I didn't get it, right? So all of those used to actually go for manual processing and manual tagging of what exactly user meant.
Okay. Yeah, that would be useful, right? That part is useful. That part is useful in the sense that now that can be used to enhance the voice and other things. Okay.
Yeah, but the problem was that the failure rate was so high that the idea is that you start doing that, and at certain point the failure rate should be low so that none of the use case should come to these teams, right?
Yeah.
But the failure rate was so high that they had these teams for years, and it was still there. So
yeah. No, I think that part you need labeling of data, the voice and everything. Probably they did that labeling and sold that data to other people as well. Okay. And I think that I agree that if that was being done, that's a good idea. Okay. That's a good idea. And it is needed for improvements of the audio. But at the same time, you also require a lot of engineering around the voice. Okay. And I think, But anyway, coming back to it. So labeling is needed. Yes, labeling is needed. That's a need. But writing rules.
With labeling, you mean data classification? Sorry, Sandeep, I cut you out. With data labeling, do you mean to say the data classification, like classified, unclassified, public, sensitive, highly sensitive?
No. Labeling is a general term where we label that this is an audio clip. It means this word. This is an audio clip. It says hi. It says hello. This is the sentence. That's what Subodh is talking about. Correct, Subodh? Okay. All right. So like that.
So if you talk in French, right, there is a French team either in Chennai or in Bangalore or in somewhere in Europe who used to listen to that and then convert that, understand what phrase they are saying, and then tag those phrase in the tag cloud, so that next time if somebody says the same thing, ideally it should pick up automatically.
Yeah. They're there also, right? Even in the labeling, like what at my current the consulting, what I've done is one of the senior data scientists who has a knowledge of the medical field, I have put him in charge of labeling entire thing. So he is hiring doctors and everybody and getting things labeled. And he is also orchestrating the entire software. Like there is a nice software called Label Studio. Okay, in case you are just curious. Okay, so you can just use these kind of software, right? It's an open source software for labeling. Like if you have a team of people who is labeling data, you can just orchestrate everything into Label Studio so that they can quickly keep on labeling that this is an image, this is a, like they can start segmenting and marking things that this is one thing, this is another thing, like that. So you're basically giving the labels to the model. And later on, we train the data, train the model that here is my data, here is the label, and learn from it. Okay. So, right, for example, I showed you, say, for example, you want to train YOLO. YOLO is a trainable system. Okay. You have systems, you have, you want to detect things in like number plate in your photos, right? If you want to detect number plate, like in a car, when a car is coming, so you give, like, ask people to label number plates in a photo, like let's say 500 photos you take, you load all of them into Label Studio, ask people to label them that from here to here is my number plate, from here to here is my number plate. And then once you have this label marked, then you feed it to YOLO, and YOLO will learn to figure out in the photo where is that label. Like here, YOLO is figuring out that from here to here is person, dog, and the train and everything. And you can just change this by training it, saying identify only the number plates. Or in a factory, you want to train the model to identify whether a person is wearing mask or not mask, and where is the danger and not danger. All of that, if you get it tagged in a Label Studio by people, then you can train YOLO very quickly, feed this label, and bam, it'll be able to detect things. Okay.
There are jokes going on that the captchas which you mark are actually used for labeling.
Yeah. No, it's not joke. It's a good real thing. So reCAPTCHA was the first company to do it in 2011 or so. Okay. reCAPTCHA did that. reCAPTCHA did that. So reCAPTCHA, what it does is they show you 4 questions. Okay. One of the questions is blind. You don't, right? They are just gathering the data. They don't know the answer. Okay. So yeah, so many of the questions, so they are like null questions. Okay. And they show the question to 2 or more people and figure out whether all of them have said the same thing. That means it's good. Okay. So reCAPTCHA did that invention, and that's a very clever thing. Okay. And Google bought that company just because of this.
So you got an important point. I had one quick query. So I had an opportunity to work on a project called, it was Google's product called Google Read Along. It was launched as Polo. It was essentially an offline reading speech assistant. For example, if you're a child, you're reading at a sentence which says, for example, Sandeep goes to school, and I get stuck at the word school, and I struggle to pronounce it. Say, for example, Sandeep goes to SCO, and then there's a reading buddy that kind of prompts, school, as in, but yeah, like, things like that. So it's a real-time feedback. So we had something like, we had a confidence level of, because since the child will be speaking and these are offline environments, so the diction and everything could differ because we are across the country. So there was a confidence level of 70%. If you match 70% of the original pronunciation, which is labeled by somebody else, then we will consider it to be a success.
Yeah. I think that those kind of systems you can just build now. And I hope that most of you will be able to build that kind of systems by the end of the course. That is my aim. Okay. And yeah, I think, and you'll be able to think in that terms. That's a very important part. Like, for example, let's say you want to build a system whereby you want to nudge a child for the handwriting. Okay. Let's say you want to do a maths exercise, but kids have to draw it using iPad pencil. Okay. And you recognize the character, you reward the kid whether it's good or not. Okay. So there are such kind of systems that you can build very quickly today. Okay. And yeah, perfect. So from the yesterday's class, how many of you tried the exercise?
Sandeep, before we start, just can I ask you one problem that I mean, it's prevalent in my organization. I was talking to, service desk manager the other day. I was in Canberra actually last week. They were talking that just to reset the password, service desk has to spend over $1 million in a year. They are receiving around 3,000 support calls over a year.
Okay.
Because people don't bother about it. And they have done is that they have advised users on the VR support system, like what steps to follow to reset it up. But still users are chasing it out. And they also want to build like some AI-based chat solution so that they can cut the influx of the calls. So I'm not sure if LLM based or your Lang based, Lang chain based framework would be able to help them out or not.
Yes, it should be. I'll tell you how. Okay. If you guys give me 10 minutes, I will give you a small perspective. I know that we would be jumping ahead, but it's okay. All right. So now that you guys know what is a function, you know what's a code, right? Now, in such scenario, when you're building, we call them agents. Okay. Agents. All right. Now, LLMs have this capability of generating code. Okay. So you can say that, okay, you can start like tell the ChatGPT or Gemini that you are a service agent. Okay. You can make the call to the following APIs and functions given to you. Number one, okay, generate new password. Okay, and it takes let's say secure what is that let's say your SSN number. Okay, last SSN number and email ID and phone number. Okay, this will generate a new password. Okay, right? So we tell that, okay, right? This is the function. Now, also we can say that in this function, the SSN, email ID, and phone number are mandatory.
Yeah.
Okay. If a person is asking to generate new password, okay, right, gather email ID and phone number of the person, okay, that's like a system prompt. Now you say, here is the question from the user, okay, please generate code in Python to answer this question. Okay. Now here, right, please generate code in Python to answer this question, or generate a text response. Okay. Response for the user.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we can also say that, if you are generating the Python one, you call it, give me the code tagged inside Python tag. Okay. We can further tell it very clearly. Okay. Like this, or give the response like this. Okay. Now, and then we let it do it. So if it generates the Python code, it will generate like this, and it'll otherwise it'll generate that response like this. And then based on what it generated, you take the action. Okay. You basically told that here is a question from user, either generate the Python code Okay. If you are generating the Python code, wrap it in XML tag Python. Okay. Something like this. As wrap it in text. Okay. And you can actually just test it out. Okay. Let me see. Let me try with Gemini first. Okay. Where is the gem? Okay. It's hidden here. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Right. You are a service agent. You can make call to the following API and function. Okay. All right. Now in this function, the SSN number is this. Here's the question. My SSN number is 1234. Okay. 1234 and 1234 and phone number is okay, and email address is sandeepgiri@gmail.com. Okay. No. Okay, so they have actually okay. How much dumber they have made it.
Is there a reason, Sandeep, why you use Gemini and not GPT?
No religion. I will just going to use both of them. Okay. Now I'm ruthless when it comes to tech. No associations. If needed.
Gemini, since past few days are getting a very like flag around wrong information, like how many stones should I consume daily and everything. They're like, yeah, you should consume at least 1 stone daily. They've got minerals.
Yeah.
Somebody typed, I am depressed. What should I do? Says to jump from the Golden Gate Bridge. That's what Gemini responds to that. Like,
yeah, you see this? Yeah. It kind of generated the password, you see? So from here to here is your Python code. You see that? So you can essentially you take this piece of code from here and run it. All right, makes sense? So it basically is making the call to your function, you see? Last 4 digits underscore SSN. Okay. So this is your code from here to here. Okay. This is comment, by the way. That's why it looks like this. You can take a look at it here. So this, remove the text from here to here. This is the response that you basically have given. Now here it has generated the function signature. It was not supposed to generate this signature. Now we can further tell it that from here to here, it basically defined a variable called last 4 digits of your SSN is this from the text, email address, phone number, and then making a call to your function. So what you do is you take this code, read this code from a file, and execute it using a function called eval in Python. You can see that in eval, you can basically, let's say here, I'll just show you this. If you go to the console, I can just show you that here. Okay, right. I'll just, okay. Okay, you can say Python 3, okay. And you can say input code is equal to input, okay, and you say enter Python code, okay. And right here, if I say let's say I say 2 plus 3 into 5, this is a Python code, okay. So you can see input underscore code is a text string. I can say eval input code, the one that user has entered. So you can see it has evaluated that code. Got it? So you can essentially just, let's say this is your text, okay? Where is that code that we generated? This is your code, right? So you could say, okay, here is my text can be in triple quote, by the way, everyone. The text can be in triple quotes. Triple quote means it can be multi-line. Okay, so this is my text. This is the text, and I can say eval text. Okay, now it is not letting me execute the code with multi-lines. Okay, that's the only problem with this eval function. You can say eval, okay, evaluate the given source in the context of globals and local. The source may be a string representing a Python expression. What you can do is an easier and more practical solution is use things like Amazon Lambda. Okay, Amazon Lambda executes the code on the Amazon server, and it is like without there is no server that you need to install. You can just execute it there. Okay, or you can save this code in a file and then execute it. Okay, but people prefer running the code on AWS Lambda, right? And that is sufficient. Okay, so essentially, I hope you got the answer. So basically, your code, after validating these things, can essentially just reset the password. Okay, you can just see if I change my question. Yeah.
Yep. Got it.
Like,
but
I
how we
say,
can link this code with the VR system? Like people will be definitely calling to.
Yeah. So now here, look at this. Okay. Now I'll say, yeah, look at this here. I did not provide the last 4 digits of the SSN. Okay. It says, thank you for providing your phone number and email address. To proceed, could you please also provide the 4-digit SSN, 4-digit of your SN number? Okay. Now I'll provide the, okay. And so you can see that it can be done, right? So if I say, okay, my last 4 digits of SSN is 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it generated a code for me. You can see? Okay.
Yeah.
It's doing some magic here, but yeah, you got the idea. So you can build a good chat system by utilizing these systems. Cool? Yeah. So that now you are good with creating chat agents. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I think those who are new to it, I think they will all be able to connect with what we solved just now. And yes, it's a very important thing. And this is something that it took me a while to explain last year. when I was working with DevRev, that this is how we can create a system which can generate code and get things start rolling. And so essentially, you could convince ChatGPT or large language model to generate the function calls, write code for you. So it'll basically write code for you and you execute this code. Okay.
Yeah.
And essentially, that solves many issues. Like, for example, if you have to build a system which can do barber, at the barber shop, it can do the booking. You just write like, these are my 5 APIs, these are functions, and take the request from the user, either ask the user a follow-up question or make the function call here. Okay.
Yeah.
You can build a booking system using this philosophy today, and you can build, let's say, any kind of systems, right? You can build, let's say, you can ask it to generate, say, either SQL or Python, or ask a question to the end user and do the things. Okay. So those kind of magic you can pull off. And yes, you don't require more than knowledge of Python. Okay. Yeah. So your further question was that how can I hook it up to the existing system?
Yep.
Right. And that's the hardest question. Okay. And that's the hardest thing to pull off. Okay. Now, the way I recommend it and the way I went through is that I realized that everybody has integrated the systems with Google Dialogflow. Okay. In Dialogflow, we just created a plugin whereby when the request is coming to the Dialogflow, it calls my stuff and then runs. The other thing is, this is a very important discussion and you guys should take a look at it again. There is other thing, so this is a very important thing probably. Okay. So you can basically, if the people have, let's say, Dialogflow already integrated into their call center, okay, you can essentially create a plugin in Dialogflow so that when the customer call is coming, it calls ChatGPT or Gemini and use your prompt. Okay. Now, that is one thing. The other thing is some of the organizations have something called asterisks. Okay. So Asterix is not the book, not the Asterix is this one, asterisk. Okay, asterisk. I keep on forgetting its name. So Asterix is an open source toolkit for the phone calls. When the call comes in, this gets triggered and this is programmable. Okay, so you can create a plugin for the Asterix or any of the telecom systems. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So that essentially gives you
basically if calling or via or whatever the industry leaders are, right? In a calling space, we can hook the plugins with their product actually.
Yes. And like just before moving to just after quitting DevRep and before moving to Canada, I was trying to start up a company into this. So there are things like Vocode, VOCODE, Vocode. This is an open source one. They are trying to integrate the voice and everything into the code.
Yeah,
so you can use those kind of systems to hook into existing voice calling systems. It's very interesting.
Yep.
Or the other thing you can do is you can create a Slack bot. Usually every company has their Slack agents, right? And people are talking to them on Slack. So you can create a Slack agent, just implement the Slack plugin, and then handle everything there.
Microsoft Slack you're talking about, right?
Yeah. You can just create a kind of a small bot there and start answering. Okay.
Yep.
So those are the few things. All right. I hope I answered your question. I hope it is not too these things are not too complex. These are easier than every Python code we are doing. Okay. And these things are easy.
That makes sense actually. Yeah. It's all about knowing the open APIs and products that you can hook up with your existing products and leverage it up. But what I'm seeing it up, a lot of system admins and bot not in the organization, don't have this knowledge about, knowledge about the ongoing developments in the industry. So hence they struggle actually to solve out the real business problems. What they focus generally in, maintaining the existing system rather than solving any purposes for the end users. And then the organization end up running, multi-million-dollar projects to solve those billions problem. I mean, solve those small issues and paying hefty amounts actually to external vendors to come up, and they at the end do the same thing and solve it for them. But that's the nature of the industry. What I'm seeing it up here.
But the smart part, see, the reality is that this is the reality. What you're telling is the reality. Okay.
Yep.
Usually in organizations, every organization, I think internal team hardly does anything. Okay. And they usually outsource the work to a other vendor. The vendor usually does all the things. Okay. And that's where that's it. That's where you should outsource the work to CloudxLab. I can delegate it to my students.
You can talk. Now, what I see is like companies, like a lot of companies in Australia or in the government organization, they set up some infrastructure and service delivery groups within IT structures, but they don't put any development teams there. So what happens is like service delivery guys focus on delivering a services through different products. Right? Like call system, patch, or Windows management or whatever, and then your platform teams or the infrastructure team look after the patching and whatnot of other system. But there is no development team sits in between these two, where which knows all these different products and can leverage their development powers to solve out the business problem. What is happening is without development team, managers think we need to go outside if we have to onboard solve some business problems. So what they have is, again, different multi-million-dollar projects going to external market and searching out a proper vendor, running 2 years, 3 years long project. But what happened most of the time, you see a trend by the time the product get officially launched, a better technology is introduced in the market, and then you are not gaining that outcome which.
But I think see, Rahul, it's a matter of how you leverage the vendors. Okay. The entire NASA is run on vendors. Okay. All my students who work at NASA, okay, there are a couple of people who work at NASA. Most of them work with the third-party agency, and they basically keep on outsourcing the work. So NASA is pretty smart at leveraging the vendors. Similarly, the company like McKesson, the one that I'm working, they're pretty smart at leveraging their vendors. So it's a matter of having good vendor. And the people, like you're talking about the person who sits in between, right? The product and the delivery. This person basically is very smart at delegating to a third-party vendor.
Third-party vendor,
Yes. So like the person who I report to here, she is like MIT and is like a pretty smart engineer. So her smartness is in figuring out the problem statement and delegating it to the vendor. Okay. And evaluating the vendor. And that's how it is. So I think that model is not bad. So if you have in mind, you delegate it to me.
Yep. Now what I'm seeing it up like a lot of time, you put down your problem statement in a paper, set out some document and publish that in the open market so others can, basically you open the tender, other companies come in and prepare their response and resolve. But then that's a long, tedious process, like 4 months, 6 months, just tender release, companies responding to, and you are basically selecting one based on.
What people usually do in such cases that, let's say I have a good vendor, a trustworthy vendor. You just basically seek the pilot from them. You give a pilot and let them execute it, and then you increase it. So I think that's what many organizations do, specifically private, not the government. Government organizations have to abide by all the legality. Okay. But yes, I have realized that I think probably as my current model, I have never done it before, but now everybody is kind of going with like I'm open to now taking a consulting assignment and working with my students. Like I'm very lucky to have a wonderful set of students, right? Because my marketing team is not that aggressive when it comes to marketing. Okay, so only the people who do their homework, only those people actually come to my classes. Okay, and yeah, so luckily, like I'm actually amazed at most of the people who have joined my classes in past and now they're doing really well. They are somebody who I can discuss my things with. Okay, I can delegate things to them and can utilize them. And yeah, so I've been lucky with that. And like even my co-founder at CloudxLab is one of my students. Okay, so and so yeah, so I think with that, yeah, I'm open to. I'm more and more open to now idea of launching a full-fledged consulting firm in AI. And
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Are you Calgary based or Toronto or somewhere else? Vancouver?
What?
Are you Calgary based or Toronto?
I am US based. I live in Canada, and I'm Toronto. I live in Toronto, and
Toronto.
my team is in India, and all the people
Global
are
setup. You
global.
already have the global setup. Yeah.
What?
Okay. No, I'm saying you already got the global setup.
Yeah, I think it's actually easier than I thought. Okay. And it's actually easier than I thought, things would happen. So what I learned is that if you can build things or create something that people can use, everything falls into place. Okay. That's how I look at things. Okay. Rest just follows, right? Like Canada invited me and gave me a PR just because I run a company. Okay. And all right. So yeah, things are going to become big in a month's time. I am taking a 1 month for building a new product, and it'll be like a different ballgame in a month. So yes, we discussed 6 questions yesterday. Okay, and this is something that I want everybody to work with me. Okay, and super happy that so let's just start with the coin toss. Okay, everybody's okay with coin toss? The random coin toss, like equal probability coin toss, a fair coin. Any doubt on this piece of code? What it does is, in case, so 50% of the time it will give 0, and 50% of time it will give 1. Now, yeah, please everybody, if it's not clear, just stop me right now. You want me to explain it again?
Yeah. Can you explain, Sandeep?
Yeah. So see, we are trying to build a coin toss. Okay. So what we did was we said, okay, we will generate a random number. This random number will be this random number. The R will be what? R will be something between 0 to 1. Okay. All right. Now, in how many cases will it return 0? Or I can ask, like, in how many cases will it give values less than 0.5? So it will, let's say, if you think about it, 0 to 1, okay? And this is your number system. So the value could be anywhere in between, okay? So R less than equal to 0.5 and R greater than 0.5 there are two sections we have created. We are saying generate a random number. This random number will be something between 0 and 1. So 50% cases, in 50% cases, this condition will be true, r less than equal to 0.5, which means in 50% cases, it will return 0, and in 50% cases, it will return 1. Is that right? So again, the problem statement is design a fair coin toss. You are given a random number, a random function, a function that gives a random number called random. It's a system like Python code, which does it for you. It generates a number between 0 and 1, and that's it. Is everybody okay with this?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Ranveer?
Yep. Yes, Sandeep.
Perfect. Or do you want to give a try? You want to write your own code without looking at my screen? I think everybody should do that. Just don't look at my screen and do the coin toss by your own. Do it right now.
I think you called,
Right?
I got
Yeah.
the code anyways. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're calling out a random function.
Yeah. No, I want everybody to write.
Yep. Okay. I'll keep going.
Okay. Huh?
I'll chat myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please, everybody, just code it. Okay. It's important. I'm telling you why it's important. Okay. I'll come back to that point. So if you can just code it right now. Okay. And please message me directly. Okay. Please message me directly once you're done with the code. And run the code, okay? Run the code. And message me directly right now. Work with me. Yes. Yes. To basically generate a fair coin toss, which will return 0 in 50% cases, and which will return 1 in 50% cases. Okay. So I'm giving you the, right, from random, import random. Okay. R equals random. This, right, sets R to between.
You're not sharing the screen.
And 1. I know. Okay. I've just put it on the chat. Okay. Okay. Good work, Neil. All right. Okay. I've given you the piece of code that will generate the random number. Okay. Along with the comment. Okay. You can use this. Yes. Okay. Everyone, please code it and share with me. Very, very impressive, Neil. I'm super happy. Super happy. Okay, perfect. Go ahead, everyone. All right. Interesting. I'm just seeing Abhijit's question. Let me see. Okay. 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 Mhm. Okay. That's a very interesting generalization. Hmm. Very good. Very good work. I'm just evaluating Abhijit's answer. Very good work, Abhijit. Okay, I'll show you the code later. I'm just putting it in my notebook, and while all of you are solving yours, I'm just writing the evaluation code right now. I'm right now evaluating Sanish's code. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Very good work. And let me also put Neil's question here. Okay. I see. Okay. Oh, Gaurav has already posted. Okay. Right. Nice. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, good. Okay. Okay. So this action. Okay. And Sanish then. Okay. Super proud. Okay. It. Yeah. Okay. Done, everyone? Okay, perfect. Madhumita is done. Disha is done. What about others? I'm still waiting for your code. Okay. This is Disha. Okay. All right. Okay. Perfect. No worries, Saradeep. Let's, yeah, since it's your second class, it's okay. For others, okay. And yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. Great, great. Everyone, is everybody done? Please raise your hand if you are done. If you are not done, yeah, there is a.
We'll try. We'll try later. Not able
Okay.
to do.
Okay. All right. Those who are not able to do, um, I will please ping me on WhatsApp group. I would want to just schedule a one-on-one session. Okay. And make sure that we are all together and not lagging. Okay.
Sure. We'll do. We'll do.
Okay. Because I want everybody to move with me, and right. So see, the idea that I am trying to work with is that that this class should be equally difficult for the people who have done coding before and who are beginning in coding. Okay. And that's why I'm taking how should I say? I'm taking very different questions. These are very different questions, which are difficult for most of the people even who have coded, and difficult for people who are coding for the first time. And I'll be taking these kind of examples. Like, for example, how do you code differentiation using Python functions? Okay. And how would you differentiate, like do the calculus on Python function, right? That will be difficult even for most of the people who are maths graduate. And it'll be difficult for both of the people. So I'll try to take those examples which are difficult for everyone, or you can say equally easy for all. Okay. So I'll just try my best to figure out those problem statements. And I mean, it looks very awkward when to many people that in a class you have people who are pretty good with Python, pretty good with maths, and you have people who are beginning in the math and beginning in Python. And amazing part is that everybody is on the same level. Okay. uh, uh, yeah. So I've asked like same questions to people who are maths graduate. Okay. And I'm amazed that everybody seems to be on the same level. Okay. Anyway, all right. So shall we start? Everybody, please raise your hand. Shall we start? If I don't see the hand raised, I can see only Subodh has raised the hand. Okay.
Sorry, I got disconnected. What was the question?
Question is if you want me to move ahead, and I think you are already done, so you can raise your hand. Yeah. And yeah, please raise your hand if you are done. Okay. Veena has already done. Yes. Manav is done. Neil is done. Okay. Okay. Please raise your hand. This will also tell me which of you people are near the keyboard. Okay. Some of you have just, done the proxy in the class like we used to do in those days.
Engineering.
Okay. Okay. Oh, good. All right. All right.
Sandeep, again, a silly question before you start. Can I ask another silly one?
There's no silly questions.
Yep. So, Sandeep, what is the difference between import like a function, library, and then using something called like here in this code that is in the screen, import random? But in some way, in some codes, I've seen from random import random init. So, what exactly that is? That's exactly a difference between those two lines.
Same thing. I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and is there a way I can view these libraries on my?
Yeah,
on my
we can just create a simple library today, just to give you guys a perspective. It's pretty simple. Okay. We'll just create our own library and import it, and everything will be okay. All right. And yeah, I'll come back. I'll explain to you in a moment. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. That's fine.
All right. All right. I never got the hang of the imports and all of these things unless I actually coded everything. Okay. And same thing in like Java, I always got confused in the packages and jar and this and that. Okay. All right. So there are still 50% people who have not raised the hand. Okay. Please feel free to ask if you want me to wait. Sneha, Sumasri, Saradeep, shall we start? I'm waiting for you guys to raise the hand. Okay. Ranveer, Rohan, Pratik, Prathamesh, shall we start?
Yeah, we are good, Sandeep, if you can start.
Just raise them. I want to see everybody's hand raised. Ashish, Avnish, Ayush, Arushi. Shall we start? Please raise your hand in case you want me to start. Okay, Ranbir, go ahead. Sauradeep, there is a icon of raising the hand. Yeah. Okay. All right. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Ashish, Avnish, Madhumita, you can raise a hand. You have already done. I can see.
I am looking for the caption. I'm not able to find out.
I think in more it'll be there. Let me see.
In React.
A
More,
reaction.
I'm not able to find.
Okay.
It's in reactions.
Same. I'm trying to find out
okay.
even I'm also not able to.
Heart sign is there, no? Even I was
In
struggling.
reaction, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Reaction is there, is love, hurts, hurts sign
Yeah,
is
yeah.
there.
Correct, yeah.
It is
Yeah,
there.
the same one.
That's in the chat, right? Okay. 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 Rohan. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Okay, Dakshish. All right. No worries. And yeah, so we should try catch up. And okay, Veena's internet is unstable. I understand. So in your case, you have already finished it yesterday, so nothing to worry, Veena. Okay. All right. Okay. Never mind. So I think my request to everybody is work with me. Honestly, work with me, right? I want to make sure that all of us are moving in the right direction. For many, like right, when I was asking this question of coin toss in one of this, and they said like, what is this question about? How does it relate to AI or machine learning, right? And I will show you that it is important. Okay. Perfect. Let's me move ahead. Then I think everybody has raised hands. Those who have not raised hand is probably because of the not able to see that. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead slowly, one at a time, looking at all the approaches. Okay, so here is the code from, okay, this is the code that is there. I wrote a small evaluation code, okay? I'll just show you my evaluation code, the code for evaluating the correct or wrong. It is a pretty simple code, and probably it'll give you one more idea that is there. Okay, so here is my evaluation code, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm saying, let me read through this code. I'm saying evaluate coin toss. I am passing the first argument as your function. Like, for example, I will call it with coin toss as a function. Okay. So essentially, you see, I'm passing function as the argument. Second value is number of iterations. Okay. How many times I want to call this function. So what I'll do is I'll call your function, say 10,000 times. Evaluate how many times it returned one, okay, and we'll observe that. So what I'm doing is I am just summing up the values returned by the functions in 10,000 times. Okay, so okay, that will tell me like how many times it returned one. Okay, it should return like 500. Okay, if 10,000 times I'm calling, it should return this 500. Also, I can just say divided by num. They'll give me, it should give me 0.5 approximately. Okay. Is this code clear to everybody? So here I'm saying, this is like a code. If I have to do it right, what I'll do is, let's say this code is equivalent of, right? Okay, let me just show you this part. Okay. This code is pretty simple, and I'll just try to write it. So this is a for loop which is generating an array. Okay, which is generating an array. Okay, So if I have to rewrite it, it'll look like this. My result is an array, okay? And then inside the for loop, what I'm trying to do is I am adding result dot append. I'm adding this function call. Whatever your function returns, I'm putting it in the results. Okay. If your function returns 1, it'll be 1. So I'm iterating 10,000 times. I'm saying go over 10,000. You see underscore here? It is not something seriously secret. Underscore is just a variable name. Instead of saying I have put underscore. It's a valid name. A common thumb rule is if you are not going to use a particular variable, just put the name of that variable as underscore. Okay, that's it. And now what I'm saying is, once I have done that, I am calling this thing called sum, and sum is going to just sum all the values inside result and divide by the total iterations. Okay, that's what I have done. So that this is a expanded version, and this is a simpler version.
Sandeep, one question. So what does when you calling f or defining an f, right?
Yeah.
So it's just variable or what?
This is yeah. In case of Python, f you can pass a function as an argument. You can pass normal numbers. You can pass a list. You can pass any other data type. And function variable, the name of the function is just like a name of variable. You can pass it as a function. So here you are passing a function as argument, and I'm calling this function with the brackets.
Okay.
Okay. So
and what is the value it's taking? That is in the loop for in that
yeah.
is what
I'm not passing any value because this coin toss is not taking any argument.
Right. So this is empty, right? So it will not return anything if we are not passing any argument.
No, it can return. It is returning 0 or 1.
Okay.
Okay. So it is returning, and I'm putting it in an array. If you see, I think the second one is easier to look at. So here I'm saying result is an empty array. I am iterating, I'm running this for loop, say 10,000 times. This means the default value of this argument is 10,000. If nobody is passing the second argument to my eval coin toss, it will assume that you want it to be evaluated 10,000 times. Okay. Now it will basically run this loop 10,000 times, and inside each loop, it will call your function f and put the result, append the result to the results. And then it is going to sum all the values and divide by the total. So it will compute the average of the total, which should be 0.5. Okay. Got it. So yes, I have done that. Now let me just test it out if my function, the one that I wrote here, is actually correct. Okay. Let's say eval coin toss. And I'm saying coin toss. You see, I'm passing my function as just like a variable. Okay. And I am calling it here. It says coin toss is missing one positional argument. Okay. Why it says so? It says coin toss is missing one positional argument. Result dot append, and I'm saying result. Where did I miss out? Okay.
Even coin toss is having two arguments.
Two arguments, and you are passing one. So when you are calling
no, it's correct. I'm using somebody else's function. Okay, this is correct. Now it's correct. So this is my function. This is the function I want to evaluate, and there we go. Okay, so almost there. You see 0.502. Okay, and so on. All right. If I want to say equals, let's say equals here. Right. Now this makes more sense. Okay, is it right? So this seems to be okay, right? If I made a mistake in this, I said, okay, return 0.6, then it is returning, 40% of time. And yeah. Yes, Shweta?
So actually, I've tried this This
Good.
one, but actually it is showing me different probability.
Okay, show me.
Okay.
This good stuff. Yeah.
I need to check from where I can share this.
Okay.
So I need to check from where I can share this because I never used Zoom.
You're on Windows.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can somebody guide her? Like where can she share the screen from?
Okay, sorry.
Got it?
Yeah.
There will be an up arrow somewhere.
Yeah. Got it. So can you see?
Okay. You are saying for
Because
I
I
in the range, n equals this. Okay. Count 0.
so
Okay. Count 1. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. And then you are saying count underscore 0 underscore 1. Okay. Can you remove those brackets? If condition, in if condition.
okay.
तो मैं हमेशा ये फिगर आउट करता हूँ कि मेरे सारे शॉट अवेलेबल होने चाहिए।
Done?
Yeah.
Is it okay? Why is it like this? Why is 40% time?
That's fine.
What is n equals to 0, n equals to 1?
This
So
is just
maybe
for
because the range
reference
is 100.
purpose.
Huh?
This is just for reference.
Can you,
Nothing
oh,
else.
now it's correct, right? 48 and 52, almost there. Can you just change that range to 10,000?
So now this is 61 and 39.
Can you just change it to 10,000? Count underscore 0. Run it again. Correct now, right? Yeah, you're there, right?
Okay, for the smaller one, it is not. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Yes, Sandeep, smaller range might be some issue.
yeah,
I am
yeah,
also try yesterday. So if I range is the 10, then probability not the
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
prediction not correct one.
Correct. You're right. You're right. Perfect. All right. So, yes, very, very happy with the work that you guys have done. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Good, Vivek. Thank you. All right. All right. Yes. Now let me just go over this code. This is all, this is wrong. So I'll just say 0.5 and evaluate the coin toss. So it's perfect. So this code is okay for me. Okay. Yes. Rahul, you want to say something? No. You're on mute. I turned on mute because I think you got a call or something.
Yeah, I was on mute. No, I was trying reading reading your code actually, how you are passing the function. Where these are the things I normally get confused and normally unable to use when I write codes.
Okay.
Like from one function, you are calling another function and displaying the results. This is good actually. Okay.
Yeah.
Any
Any doubt?
more?
Even there's the slightest doubt in the code that I wrote here. Slightest doubt.
Yeah.
No.
One thing, why underscore for underscore range? I mean,
Yeah.
you can.
That is a variable, right? Like any other.
So I can write underscore I can write underscore this, anything. Okay. Or I can write some big variable, doesn't matter. A good habit is if you don't want to use a variable, just put it underscore. I'm not going to use I if I can do this for I in the range, but since I'm not going to use it, I'm just calling this function over and over and nothing else. So I'm just leaving it like this. So good
Okay,
habit.
so it's, I mean, okay. Okay.
Good habit is
and
if you don't use a variable, just put it underscore.
if you are using underscore multiple times, it won't
It will overwrite.
cause a problem.
It will overwrite. It will overwrite each other.
So it's just another variable.
Yeah, it's just another. Like I could just, let's say, if I do this, right? If I do this, okay, and okay. Okay. So essentially I'm made it like this loop run twice. Okay. And that's why I had to divide it by twice. Rahul, is that vape?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
No, I'm asking, is that vape?
Sorry, say your question again. Sorry, I missed out.
In your hand, is that vape?
No.
Okay.
No, this is iPod.
Oh.
So
I was having a discussion with somebody and he was vaping in the class.
No, I'm good with that. No, I don't have emotional issues.
So
I know, like
in
people
my
have
in my class in South Africa, there were like few candidates. They'll bring like 3 vapes in the class, physical
vapes,
class. Yeah, and they'll be
I actually quit smoking. I mean, I tried 10 times anyways, but from last 1 year, I haven't smoked a single puff.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. Good thing to do.
Yeah. No,
there's a high possibility if you.
Yeah, just have one
There's
puff
a high
and then
possibility.
restart. Sorry, who was that? I cut it.
No, so I'm saying that if you have a Canadian student, there is a high possibility that they might have a vape with them.
Yeah.
Government funded.
Yeah. I've been there actually, Canada. My sister is in Calgary recently. Last year, I saw it's pretty common among youngsters that they are vaping actually. And I saw that trend more in Canada than Australia actually.
Yeah.
For some reason, Australians don't want to study, but they're a lot more focused on physical activities and exercising. Like games is part of their life. But in Canada, people want to study, but I think there are more psychological issues. I saw a lot of youngsters like just having vapes and all in their hand. I may be in the bad company though, but this is what I noticed actually when I was there.
No, that's common. Perfect. Okay, let's move ahead. Okay, let's move ahead. And okay, so everybody's clear with this piece of code?
Yep.
All right, awesome. Right. So now so I'm going to use this eval coin toss to just evaluate. Okay. So here is an answer from Abhijit. Okay. I'm just going to rename your function as Abhijit. Okay. And I'm going to clean it up. Okay. So it says for I in the range partition. Okay. You designed a generalized version. Interesting. And coin toss, I'll just say n, and that's it. Okay. So you are saying if I want n face dice, it should work, right? Let me test it out. I'm going to say eval coin toss, and I'm going to say I'm going to say eval coin toss. I'll say coin toss Abhijit coin toss. So many functions.
Underscore.
Coin toss. And why is not evaluated? Yeah, this one. Okay. And I'm going to call your function, right? I'm going to just mark this partition as 2 by default. Okay. So that, yeah. Okay. Yes, you are there. Okay. Yeah, I'll come back to this piece of code. This is a very good piece of code. Okay. So he has just done the generalization of the same. Okay. So he's saying that. Yeah.
No, I wanted to understand how does that inversion one I on partition and I plus 1 on partition gives you
So what he did,
why exactly?
What he did was he basically did this. Okay, so you have a number line. Okay, you have a number line. Okay, 0 to 1. Okay, and what he has done is, let's say, like if you are going 50-50, what he's doing, he's iterating over two loops, like I in range 0 or 1. Okay. Now he's checking 0 divided by partition and right, and I plus 1 divided by partition, which is 1 divided by 2. So if the number is between these two, it returns 1. Okay, that's what he's doing. All right. So what actually is he doing is, it's a very interesting piece of code. And yes, it's a neat code. So between 0 and 1, he divides it into partitions. Let's say partition is equal to 4. So he divides 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's saying if the value is between this partition and this partition, return that index. Got it?
Sandeep, but this piece of code, I think not working of the partition of 4 or 5 or 3
Okay.
might be some issue, because I
Okay.
checked that, so not correctly partition of the I numerator.
Okay.
So can you please check?
Is it?
Later on.
This one, it doesn't work for the
Partition, if partition is the 4 dice point.
4 dice. Okay, let's just see. I'm calling it with 4. Okay, and I'm going to call it for range. I'm going to call it 10,000 times. Okay, and I'm going to say this is my okay, and okay, and what I'm going to do is result this plus equals 1. Okay. Yes. And let's take a look at result, or I can just print the result here. Okay. So all right. That's okay, right? All right. These are the iterations. Okay. How do you divide?
You can use this. I mean, I put it printing.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. It's doing right.
But if I like divide by the 4, the independently call the function the range which between the 0.0 and 0.16 or 0.25.
Mm-hmm.
So that piece I am not understand. Like simply print that this I divided by partition that greater than and the number of between them. Then the range between to the 0 and the 0.16 and the 0.25. Not range between 0 to 1. Then how to?
So what
Like
is it
might be I'm
doing?
not understanding the math.
Yeah. It's a pretty simple thing. Okay. I'll just show you. Let's say partition equal to 4. Okay. Partition equal to 4. So this code is inefficient, but the code is okay for me. Okay. So what he's doing, he has divided the I by partition. Okay. So he's saying 0, 1 by 2. So how many times this loop is going to run? It's going to go from 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So what is doing? This is 1 by 4, 2 by 4, 3 by 4, and that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So here is saying that if the number, okay, if the number, the random number is between 0, 0 and 1/4, return 0. If the, and then he, right?
Yeah.
If the
And
number is between 1/4 and 2/4, return 1. If the number is between 2/4 and 3/4, return this, and so on. The only thing that I'm thinking, 1,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, right?
Yes. And this is only print the range of that particular number come from the
Yeah.
randomizer for
Yeah.
number.
So it
Yeah.
only returns 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay?
Yes. Yes. Understand. Yes. I misconfused a little bit this print statement.
Okay, good. Very good. Very good. Yes. Perfect. Can anybody suggest a better answer to this? Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute. So if you simply take this random number, okay, and like if I have to code it up, I think I'll explain again. Don't worry. I'll code it better, but the answer is right. The only thing is if there are 10 partitions, the loop runs for 10 times. That's the only downside of this. Can you make it can you do things without running the loop? Okay. All right. Now. Okay. Is everybody okay so far? Yeah. All right. Perfect. Now, let me take a look at, let me evaluate Sanish's answer. Okay. And his answer is import this, R is random, if less than 0.5. Perfect. There is nothing wrong in it. Now, coin toss by Neil is also good. P is random, P is less than equal to 0.5, return 0. Yes. Okay, very good. Now, let's take a look at Shweta's code. Okay. All right. Okay. You are testing it, right? Your logic. Okay. Here, you generate a random number. If length of the stack is 2, empty stack, we have both numbers in the stack. Else if add the number if the stack is empty and toggle the number. So you are, okay. So you are generating alternate number, right? Is that what you're trying to do? Okay. Yeah, but that's
Equal
not,
probability.
yeah, but that's not the problem statement. Okay. Here you don't have luxury of doing it 100 times. If I was asked, so it will basically generate the alternating numbers, right? Though it's a good
Right.
use of stack, but you could essentially do it without the stack first. Second, you're not supposed to generate it 100 times. Okay, but this is good, and yeah, I'll park it aside for now because the problem statement is that you have to generate only one number, either 0 or 1. Okay, you don't have the luxury of doing it 100 times. Okay, but yes, it's a interesting approach. All right, now here is the, okay, so all right. Okay, so you have done it for 3. The question number 2. Okay, perfect. All right. Yes. I think the next thing is, okay. Anybody wants, specifically, anybody wants me to look at their approach if they are not happy with that approach? Subodh's answer is, okay. Okay, number equal to 4. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. All right. Perfect. Yes, Subodh, go ahead.
can you, so we're looking at end phase dice, or we're looking at the first question?
We are
I wanted to
moving.
look at the end phase one, which I did.
Yeah. I think we should move on to the end phase one. Okay. And okay. I think for 3-phase, everybody's okay. So for 3-phase, what Gaurav has done is just good. That instead of earlier, we were talking about 2-phase dice, in which we were saying return the if the R is less than equal to mean equal probability, then return 0. Okay, which means, okay, so what he's saying, if, okay, 0, 1, he has cut the number line into 3 parts. So if the number appears here, which means it is less than 1/3, okay, then return 0. If it is less than 2/3, return 1, right? That's what he's done. And otherwise return 2. Okay. So is everybody okay with this approach for 3 values? This is good. Okay.
Sandeep, I just had one question. So in this for line 9, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be like less than equal to mean equal probability into 2, greater than equal to and greater than equal to mean equal probability? Return 1.
Yeah. So that's what, since it's if, you see, if this is true, otherwise, that is already included.
Okay. So
Got
you
it?
don't need to put like an and statement there to just
the end statement will be needed if you're doing this.
Okay.
So if you say elif means if that is not true, then this. So, but if this was true, it will anyway return. Now, otherwise, here. So it means that this R, when will it go here? When R is greater than 1/3. Okay. And we are saying if R is less than this. Okay. All right. Is everybody okay? So this is a good use of if elif. Okay.
One thing is coming in my mind, Sandeep, is I may limit it to I can use this to predict numbers coming in roulette or some casino games. Actually, like if you enter, what's the probability of particular numbers appearing in if there is this trend?
Yeah.
I'll see if I can extend that code.
Go ahead. Tell me more.
I mean, what I'm thinking of, let's say you are in, you're playing that roulette game, right? 0 to 36, 1 in casino.
Yeah.
Based on this code, let's say you input 5 numbers, 30 to 35, basically, or 34. Then what's the probability of those numbers appearing in next time?
Yeah.
You can predict that and then play.
Yeah.
I know some of my friends who made some good money, but some of them have lost. But that things maybe my thought appears from that.
One thing that people confuse probability is this. Okay. Let me ask you a simple question. Everybody, please pay attention to this probability question. Let's say there is a village. Okay. People have the children. If they have a boy, they stop producing kids. Yeah. And if they have a girl, they produce another kid. Okay. After 10,000 years, or not 10,000, let's say after 100 years, this village will have more girls or more boys?
More girls.
More girls, I guess.
Think again.
They're
not murdering the kid. Keep in mind, they're not murdering the kid.
Yep.
At any stage.
First time there's a 50-50
There may be more boys
Why would
actually.
occur?
More girls.
First
Boys.
time,
Both.
you will have either girl or a boy. So equal number of girl and boys. Next day again, whoever
The
wants
next
to
time.
produce, they will have equal number of boys and girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So equal. So the probability is equal.
So it's equal.
Third maybe 33%.
Equal.
Yes.
67.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So irrespective of whether when I threw the coin 10 times and every 10th time it had came, the 11th time the probability is still equal.
Yep.
Okay.
No, what I was what I was thinking is, like casino, I mean, just this is again roulette, casino has the chance of winning percentage of 1/37, right? In the traditional roulette game. Whereas end user, whoever is, gambler has 1/36 possibility. So anyways, if he can have this coding capacity to increase his probability even by 10%.
Yeah.
And that's good enough for him to bet.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. Good. All
So
right.
on the probability question, right? So for example, if the first child is male, right? You stop the iteration there, right? So in worst
So
or
let
in
me
best
let me
case,
show you. Let me show you. Okay.
We have rent and families, right?
Let's say a very important thing. This is a Google question, by the way, on probability question. And when you are appearing for a data scientist interview, they will randomly throw one probability question in the interview. Okay. Before starting the engineering interview, they will randomly throw one probability question. Okay. So, and this is a good question they asked. Okay. So the question is, right? Let's say the village has 100 people. Okay. Village has 100 people, right? First day, first time when they'll produce kids, 50 boys, 50 girls. Okay. So the kids are equal. Now, those who had girls, they will produce again, and then 25 boys and 25 girls. So 50 plus 25, 50 plus 25, right? Those who had girls, they will produce again, let's say 12.5, 12.5. I'm just taking an example, right? And basically they'll keep on going. So you can see at every stage is 50-50.
50%. Okay. Yeah.
At every
Got it.
stage. Yeah. Unless they are doing, the infanticide. All right. This is, I think everybody should keep an eye on the probability questions because probability questions are very common when you're going for machine learning interviews. Okay. And don't get confused with the formulas in probability question. Probability questions are best solved by just counting. Just count. Okay. Don't worry about if you did not understand factorial, you did not understand NCR, NPR, or you did not understand the entire of the course. Don't worry about it. Just do the counting. Just do the counting.
Yep.
All right. And okay. So I think the biggest trouble that I found in probability is, like every time I try to use formula, I couldn't solve even any JE question when I was preparing for JE. And when I just did the simple counting, that's what solved. Okay. And perfect. So this is all good. Moving on. Okay. And this is from Abhijit. Okay. So here we have coin toss bias. Okay. This is going advanced level now. Okay. So this is from Manav. Perfect. This is perfect. Okay. And this is from Disha. Okay. Disha, you see this here? You should call this random inside. Probably that's what you meant. If it is between 0 and here it should be like 0.5, right? 50%. And then you return 0. All right. Okay. and evaluate coin toss. This right. See, it works fine.
I mean, you don't need R equals to 0 in the if statement, right? Because less than equal to pointer
Yeah,
anyways covering 0.
yeah, you're right. So we'll make it further simple. But I like the fact that you have done the coding
Considering
by yourself and you have not used ChatGPT, because ChatGPT will not give you this code. Okay, this is good. Okay, all right. And yeah, when I see somebody's perfect code, I immediately change the question to make it next level. And then, you know, that's when the thing starts. Okay. And yeah, next is yes, this is Madhumita's way. Okay. All right. For I is equals to 0, okay, this is done. This is we have already tested. Okay. And this is Subodh's. We generate.
Steve, sorry, Sandeep, why semicolon at the end in the above code?
Which one? Here.
Just go up.
Good question.
Return one.
Good question. I think probably Madhumita is coming from C++ or C background. Yes. Okay. It took a long time for me to get de-addicted from the semicolon. Okay.
And is that Python code? I never tried myself actually. Is that code gonna work after semicolons, or it will?
Yeah. Python is okay with semicolons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's completely okay. This code is all good. Okay. Right. So good. Perfect. Moving on to Subodh's code. This one is okay. Interesting. Can you explain this, Subodh?
Yeah, I mean the random number, right? I'm just taking the integer part of that decimal.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm multiplying it with those many numbers so that I get the integer value, and then that value I'm just doing a mod with whatever n you said. So the main logic is 5, where you're doing the mod. Just to get the random number, I'm doing it.
This is a very clever, very clever solution. Okay. So one approach we saw was for the range, right? What here, very important, everybody please pay attention. This was Abhijit's code. What he has done is, he has generalized it. Okay. That if you want a n-phased coin, okay, n-phased dice, which will basically generate any number of faces. You want to generate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. You can just pass that. And what he's doing is he broke the number line into those many partition and checked if a particular value is existing in which partition. So he's searching through all the partitions and checking where it is existing and returning that partition. So the way we divided, when in case of two values, we divided the number line into two parts, whether it's between 0 and 0.5 and 0.5 to this, or so on, right? So that's what he has done. Okay. Is everybody okay with this piece of code? Not okay? So basically he has designed a n-phased coin, okay, whereby n-phased dice, where basically what he's doing is he just repeated the same logic for n number of things. So the way first we did 0 and 1, so we divided into two parts. If the value is existing on this side, we are returning 0. If the value is existing on this side, we are returning 1. Now, in case of three values, let's say 0, 1, 1 by 3, and 2 by 3, right? So if the value is existing here, he's returning 0. If the value is existing here, he's returning 1 by 1. And if the value is existing here, he's returning 2. Okay. So similarly, what he has done is, in case of n, and 0 and 1. In case of n, he's breaking it into n partition, and 1 by n, 2 by n, 3 by n, 4 by n. And he's iterating and checking if this random number came here, 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 and that's it. Okay. Is everybody clear about this approach? Do you like this approach? Do you think you can make it better without the loop?
What is result 0 cross row?
What?
Result 0 cross row.
Result
61.
No, I didn't get.
Next line, 61 he talking about.
61. Oh, this one, right? 0. Oh, this one. Okay. Sorry. So right. If you basically multiply an array like this, it produces a array with 4 elements. Okay. Like this. Okay. So you can see this is one array. Okay. And this has got this value. And for 4 values 10 times, I can change one of them to say 15, and it is okay. You can see that it just created that. So what I did was, for checking his program for 4, I capped 4 counters. Okay, in an array of 4 numbers, and when I iterated, I said through the coin toss, whatever value it's returning. Whatever value, let's say, if his coin toss is returning, I am going to that particular counter and increasing that counter. Okay, and that's it. And once that is done, I'm dividing all the counts by total number of iterations. Okay, and that is essentially giving me the probability. Okay, what happened here? Okay, yeah, everybody okay with this? All right, I just tested his code and it seems to work. The only thing that I don't like about his code is that it is little inefficient. Okay, rest, it's all great.
So Sandeep, another question for you. Sorry, yes, someone else want to ask.
Yeah. Probability we can calculate like the total faces and the side of the faces, 1 divided by the total faces of the partition.
Yes.
My approach for the next question, I think that is, suppose we have 6 faces dice, the probability is the 1 by 6.
Yes.
So then we calculate by the which number of comes, then the occurrence of the come divided by the probability, R divided by the probability. Can you please check on
this? Is good. This is good. Yes. This, yeah. Everyone, now this is a good answer here. Okay. So an improvement over that code. I'll just pick this code here. Okay. This is the neat code. So what he's doing is, let's say you are given, okay, n divided by this. Okay. So you are calculating, okay, in this one, you are first calculating the random number. Then you are saying that, okay, n divided by mean equal probability is 1 divided by occurrence. Okay. You are basically, you are passing this n underscore. I'll just pass this n here. Okay. And let's just see. Okay. Let's test it out. So what you did was you calculated this range, and from what you did was you took the random number, checked where it is lying, okay, and converted into that. I'll come back to this. So it's a very, very interesting approach. Okay. So let's take a look. Okay. So let me run. This module is not, okay, random.random. Okay. Yeah. Now you can see pretty clean, right? Here, I'm going to just run, where was my code that I was doing coin toss? Okay. All right. Where did I write that? Just now we wrote, right?
This eval context.
This one is for all? No, it's not for all. N. It is only for, okay. I just now coded somewhere.
This n coin down.
This one?
This no, this
Oh
is
yeah,
mine.
yeah. This is yours, dude. So n coin toss. Okay, I'll just write. So eval n coin toss. Okay, n coin toss. Now I'm passing a function, and let's say iteration is say 10,000. Okay, and also I am passing another variable called n. Okay, how many like faces do I want to do? Result equals 0 times n, and then I did map or something somewhere, right? I've just written this code. That's why I should always write. Oh man, okay. All right, something here. All right, this is the code that I did just now. I am lost in the notebook. All right. Okay. This is the code I wrote, right? All right. Evaluate and coin toss. Okay. I am saying multiply it by n. So I got a result, n counters. And whatever number of iterations I am passing, that I am passing in the argument. And then I'm saying go over this and call this function with n. And then I'm saying set the value and return. Okay. This looks clean, right? And there we go. So let me check your eval n coin toss n underscore coin toss. Okay. It says that this is missing. So let's just test it with 6. Okay. Or test it with 10. Test it with 10. So looks like good to me. Does it look good to you, everyone?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 9, 8, or 10.
If it is 2, let's see. Not bad. 3. Equal probabilities almost. This one is going just too much. Is there a reason? Little higher on the last one. Okay, that's okay, I think. This is okay. I think this is perfect. This is perfect. Okay. This is perfect. Yeah. All right. Now, here is a question to all of you that does it make sense to you? What he has done is very neat. Okay. So what he did here is this. Okay. So he realized that between 0 and 1, okay, and we are trying to do the n probability. So he divided it into n parts, okay, and then said, okay, what is the size of this thing? Okay, what is the probability of each? 1 by n, okay, right? Now, next is, if it, let's say the r is ending up here, so what is it doing? This value divided by the width of this thing, divide by width of these things, so you will get this index. And that's it. Okay. If the random number appears here, he returns this. If the random number appears here, he returns this. correct? Now, you can also do a little modified version of it, okay? That's my one. I'm saying, give me an generate random number and divide this random number by n, okay? Now, you can just return the integer part of it, okay? So, okay, will it work? Okay, will it work? Let me see my method. Okay, so it did work, right? So you can see. Which code do you like?
95, yeah.
I like your code, by the way. Got it. This is neat. Okay. This is okay. All right. All right. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to a new approach. Okay. Let's move on to new approach. This is done. This is done. Okay. 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 Abhijit, this was good. The only thing is that you have to go over all the list. That's
Yeah.
the for loop is there. This is good. This is good. Manav, yeah, I want to just correct a little bit. Okay. What you have to do is this is good. Okay. Interesting. Let me see. So what he's doing is whatever number you are giving. Oh, okay. So he's basically iterating over all. Okay. And yeah, your approach is good. The only thing is just define a function for this separately and then call that one for testing. Okay, you mix the text test and the actual code. That's all. Perfect. Very good. And moving ahead, I have already evaluated coin toss. This is also done. Okay. And this is good. This is a testing together. So usually just Madhumita, you should just call that one and then use that. Oh, you have already done that. Yeah, you've already done that. Correct. Thank you. This is good. Yes. Yes, we were talking about this. Okay. So do you want to, Subodh, do you want to explain?
Yeah, I mean, the main is I'm doing a module on line number 5, where you take the random number and then whatever the n is, you just divide it. I mean, I think it is similar to the partition one, but you're using the module sign here.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing on 4 is just rather than doing inverse of it, I'm just trying to get the integer part of the
Okay.
float value.
Yeah.
Just trying something to get the integer part.
Let's just test it out separately. I'm going to test it out separately. Okay. So, little complex. But again, usually you will find other person's code to be uglier than your code. Okay. That's a general, the attachment with the art. Okay. The other person's art is just nonsense as compared to your own art. Okay. Now, first thing first. So first of all, the string, it'll convert the number into a string. Okay. I'm just going to change it a little bit because, yeah. So this number is getting converted into this. Okay. And let's just also show this. Okay. But I think what you meant is probably this. Okay, because I'm thinking, see, it will give
This
you
will give the remainder,
remainder.
right? This will give the
Yeah.
remainder. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you divide it into those many
Okay.
part, and the remainder part will, it's
Okay.
almost the same, right?
Yes, almost the same. Okay.
So it will remove everything and just give the remainder. And the
Yeah.
remainder will always be from 0 to n. 0 to n minus 1.
Or why not just do let's say multiply this number with, let's say, 10,000.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I did that first, but I didn't want it to hardcore any value there, right? So what I did is I just found out how many zeros I'll have to multiply it based on the total digit with each case. So if you see, it is 10 raised to the number of the digits. That many 1,000 or 100 or 10,000, 1 million, whatever it is, right? You, irrespective of what random number gives, it will calculate the digits and add those many zeros and get the integer value of it. I mean, one way is to just inverse it, but
Got it. Okay. So you're basically adding those many digits to this one, and basically what you're doing is RR into 10 to the power length of the string, this length,
then
and
the total,
and
yeah, minus
subtracting
3 is because it is 0
0.1.
point some 0 point thing, right? So I'm just removing the first 3.
First 3, or
the problem is
why not you
if you don't
subtract 2?
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, yeah, you can do -2 also. But the thing is, if you don't remove that, you get additional zeros at the end, and then your module gets screwed up.
Yeah.
So
yes, innovative approach. Good. I think I got it. Okay. Very innovative.
But
Okay.
Sandeep and suppose 0.2 something, 27 something, if -3, then power is the 7, the count with the 7. And the 0.277 is the bigger of the 2. We minus first 2 letter, we remove that. First 3 letter, remove the 0.2. Then here the power is the, like the 7. Like the second number is the largest of the first number, then power is also increased now.
No. So what this is doing is, say, if you have 0.123, right? So it is calculating that it will multiply that with 100. So
0.123. Okay.
The length is 5.
Okay.
5.
And -3, which means 2. So 10 square, right? Correct? 10 square, and you're multiplying it with 10 square, so it becomes 12.
So you get 12.3. Actually, it should be -2. Yeah, it should be -2, but yeah, you get the point.
Now you say integer part of it, it will give you 12, right? And then what you do is
mod of n.
Okay. But why not? I'm just wondering, like, why do you? So you're saying that what you're trying to do is, are you trying to convert it to 12.3 or 123?
No, 123, it should be -2. I think I just checked my notebook. It is -2. I copied it from somewhere else. So
okay, this is correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where is n? Okay. So this is okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Now that's good. This is good. Okay. All right. Now, I want this next question to be right. Question number 3 and 4. We will again. I mean, don't worry. Okay. The remaining questions, I think we can take it on the next week. I want everybody to work on it. So first one, the question number 1, 2, 3 is done. Now is the time to do the unfair coin. So you will be given two probabilities, P1 and P2. In case they are, you can just divide each value by the sum of the two to make them probabilities. If somebody says 2, 3, it should make it 2 by 5 and 3 by 5. Okay. Just to convert that. It's okay. Even if you don't do it, it's okay. Okay. You can assume that you are given two probabilities, let's say 0.8, 0.2, and basically generate the fair coin toss. You can assume that this is correctly given. P1 and P2 are correctly given to you. Okay. They will be P1 plus P2 will always be 1. Okay. So now you have to do the coin toss of unfair coin. Okay. If P1 is 0.8 and P2 is 0.2, return 0 80% of the time, 1 20% of the time. Okay.
We can use NumPy library for this or not? First random.
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. Yeah, I want everybody to think like, how would you do it? Okay. How would you do it? And whatever discussion we have, all right, I'm just taking it a little notch up. And then we will do the unfair coin on multiple values. And then we will see, we will choose the best coin possible, and we'll create something called a temperature. And temperature is something that you will see in LLM. When you're using LLM, there is a parameter called temperature. At the end of the inter exercise, you will get the feel of what's a temperature and what's a serendipity. Okay, so I want you guys to code an unfair coin. First, unfair coin like this, then three values, okay? And okay, the three values, and then we will do the rest. Okay, so there are total 6 questions that I had given. Generalize it for n number of phases. Take an array of probabilities and return 0 to length of array. Okay. All right. With this, I think I'll be stopping here today, and we will continue the discussion next time. Okay, don't worry, we are going at a good pace. This discussion, what we had today, is a very important discussion. We discussed about real use case of ChatGPT large language model. We also discussed multiple approaches, and real learning happens like this. Yes, Saurabh, you had a question?
Yeah, so the assignment questions that I just saw, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, where will I find them on the
Okay. They are lost in my notebook. Okay. Okay. And can somebody, yeah, they're marked like Q1, Q2 in this notebook, so you'll have to denoise it. Okay. And you have to denoise it. I'll just share this notebook again with everyone. Okay. And yeah, it's marked like hash Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay. And yeah, spend good time on this. It's a good question.
Sandeep, where did you keep it? Where are you going to keep this?
I will most likely ask Shubh to upload it, but here I'm sharing it. Okay.
Yeah,
here.
You can message in the chat actually. Yeah, or in WhatsApp, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, can somebody just do me a favor, because I have to just rush. Okay, after this, okay, meeting. So somebody can post it in the WhatsApp group. Okay. All right. All right. Wonderful discussion. Thank you, everyone. And your questions are enriching to everybody else. And right, so be very respectful to each other's question. That's the only thing I ask. And leave that to me, whether the question is relevant or not. And I can assure you that every question in this class asked is relevant in one way or another. I'll make sure that it is relevant to everybody. Okay. So yes, with that, I think we will see you next week at the same time. And yeah, thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks, Sandeep.
Thanks, Sandeep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Yeah, I'm super impressed by you.
Thank you, Sandeep.